Hello, good evening, happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy
Happy.
Thanksgiving's Eve.
Oh, I was just about to say something like that.
I'm
Doug,
sorry.
God.
I'm sorry. It wasn't me. It was Chaplin. Chaplin said it. I'm not sorry. But
Okay,
you know what? You can't. It's him. I can't control him. So
that's
I'm not
fair.
like dumb or anything.
Right, that's fair. I mean, I'll take it for Chaplin, so that's fair. That's fair. Well, hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a good evening. If you are celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow, I hope your day is going to be relatively stress-free and you got your prep done, I suppose.
I was gonna say if it's stress free, then you have never celebrated Thanksgiving the proper way, or the traditional way. Let's say
There
that.
you go. The good old fashioned American way.
Yeah, I used to
Um,
have hair. Thanksgiving. That's what caused this. Anyway.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Really quickly, I am going to point out I did extend the November goal. We technically was supposed to end on Monday, but since we didn't have a stream on Monday, I had a family obligation last minute that I had to go to. Since we didn't have a stream on Monday, it felt like if you wanted to help us get to that November goal, today is the last day. And again, if we do get to 250 subs, basically by the end of stream today, our next tournament Tuesday is going to be a little game in which we watch no context nostalgia critic clips, and everyone's gonna guess which review it came from, including Doug, but also including
Yeah.
chat. So it'll be your chance to show up, chat, Doug.
Yeah, because I know my videos so well. People quote so many lines to me that I'm always like, "Who said that?" And they're like, "You did." I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." So yeah, and this channel, I just want to give a shout out. This channel is very funny. This is all from a YouTube channel called No Context Nostalgia Critic, and he edits them in just the right way. Where again, I don't even remember these clips, and I'm watching. I'm like, "Oh my god, that is so funny." I have like no connection to like what the context was. So yeah, they're very very funny. Whether we make it or not, go check out that YouTube channel because it is quite hilarious.
I see we're in a level 3 hype train, so thank you all so much. Appreciate that. So let's get to the rules since we did take some time with other things right now, so we can start answering your burning questions. First and foremost, we give priority at 2-bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Sometimes towards the end of stream, we do have time for highlighted messages, but I would save your highlighting for the end of stream because if you highlight it now, I literally can't scroll up and see it. It's just the way that this chat is, or like it refreshes and whatever. Please, no spoilers. I haven't been able to watch the last episode of Andor, and I swear to God, chat. Also, it's only
Neither have
been out
I.
for like 2 weeks. Still no spoilers for Wakanda Forever either. It's only been out for 2 weekends, okay? No spoilers for things like that. Also, please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is we are to lose the point, and I cannot repeat it. So the shorter, the better. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. That does kind of apply to the bit messages as well. We do have a list. We will get to it. No need to repeat it. I do have it. It's cool. We're getting to it. Okay? And I think
Look and see if your question has been asked already.
yes. You might want to check out, see if someone else has already asked your question. We just hate if you're like the fourth person to ask Doug, what's the review next week? That we just have to be like, we've talked about this.
And we give you the table scraps answer. That ain't fair. So yeah, see it's been asked already.
Yeah. All right, cool, great. Well, let's get started then.
Right,
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, how y'all doing?
Good.
Good. Great. Thank you. That Disney Nerd, thank you so much for that 31-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that. 31 freaking months indeed. Thank you. Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Great commercial special this year. Your Wilkins Coffee ad made me laugh so hard. I'm also really looking forward to Disney December.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the preview for it tonight, so be on the lookout for that this sometime this week.
LJH, thank you so much for that 5-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it. That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug and Heather, did you see Strange World? I found it pretty underwhelming.
God, that's the word. Yes. The world was cool, so it comes through on that. That's awesome because that's what I wanted to go see. I thought the characters were so forgettable.
Oh
Like the lines
no.
were very forgettable. Yeah, but the world is cool. Like that's something it has over Buzz Lightyear because those characters were forgettable too. This at least has a really cool world to explore in different ways that operates and stuff. So I like that. Everything else pretty forgettable.
I didn't even know it was coming out. We filmed Nostalgia
No,
Critic yesterday, and
yeah,
Doug was
nobody
like,
does.
I'm gonna go see it tonight. And I was like, what? It's out?
Yeah, like they're saying like it's super disappointing previews, and I'm just like, well, yeah, nobody knew was coming out. Like I remember seeing like a teaser for it. I don't even know if I've seen like a full trailer for it
Mhm.
anyway. So anywhere. So yeah, it's weird.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Indian movie RRR on Netflix? It's absolutely fantastic. My favorite film of the year.
No, I hear it's a ton of fun. I did not know it was on Netflix. So maybe I'll check it out there. Yeah, because I see it like everybody talks about it and it's like, oh my god, you gotta see it, it's just crazy, man, it's oh my god. So I don't even know what it's about, which I like going into a movie blind. So yeah, at some point I'll check it out. Now that I know it's on Netflix, yeah, I'll try to check it out there.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, loved this year's commercial special. Funny story, I just made pizza with my brother's dinner when I came in to watch the video, only to be greeted by the Pizza Head commercial, and I was howling when it got to Malcolm and Tamra mutilating him. Just one of the many laughs the video provided.
Yeah, that's the scene I had to rewind and watch a few times just to get the laughs out of my system because that worked out so but just him punching the pizza really makes me laugh.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Also, in regards to that pooping unicorn commercial, I think you've got the wrong generation of MLP to compare it to. That thing is some Generation 3.5 nightmare fuel if I've ever seen it.
I believe you. Wasn't aiming for any particular. I guess I think I did put a picture in there, but I don't even know what generation of what with My Little Pony, man. Yeah, so I just said it looks like My Little Pony.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Yesterday, we had a wonderful celebration of the autumn equinox. There was pizza, there was ice cream, there was a virgin sacrifice, and best of all, we enjoyed a few performances of Sir Elton John. You should have been there to hear him sing Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting.
Cool. There's a middle part I might come back to later and ask you about, but yeah, sounds like fun.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. I have a fan theory about the first season of Loki. Yeah, we're okay to talk about spoilers for Loki. It's been out long enough. Spoiler alert, He Who Remains was the very reason why Thanos was the last of his kind. In other words, the extinction was part of his plan to bring Loki to him. As for Sylvie, there were no charges. The TVA agents were only hypnotized to arrest her as part of his plan to help her learn what she would need to know to run the TVA.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. That's one of the things I love about that show. It's like it can kind of go in a bunch of different directions. So yeah, no, I'm really excited to see when they finally get season 2 going because I thought it was a lot of fun.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. In your review of Anastasia, you talked about the power of leaving things to the imagination. That reminds me of your review of RoboCop, where you claimed the future would be scarier if we had to imagine how terrible it was. What other movies can you think of that would have been better if certain things were left to the imagination? I'm asking you too, Heather.
I think the remake of The Haunting, if you never saw The Ghost, I mean, the original Haunting did that, brilliantly. So yeah, I mean, I guess that one's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I don't know a specific one I can think of where like I wish it was just left to the imagination.
Mm.
I can think of instances where I enjoyed it, like you're saying in horror films like Black Friday, like you never really see the killer, like that's terrifying. Like
You mean Black Christmas?
Black Christmas, sorry. What did I say?
Black Friday's coming up. Although,
Yeah.
Black Friday is not
Black
that.
Friday is also terrifying. Black Christmas is what I meant.
And there's so many
Apologies.
crowds, you can't see who the killers are. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
The Mist. I think we never saw the monster in that. That would have been scarier.
Okay. Cool. That Disney nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Will there be a blooper reel for the commercial special? I just can't imagine you filmed certain parts of that special that didn't make you laugh your ass off.
I actually, just before this, I wrote it down to remind myself because there were quite a few bloopers. And I don't know if it'll be like, whatever, 10 minutes long or anything like that, but maybe like a little 4 or 5 minute video or something like that because there are some funny ones.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Loved the commercial special. Tamra in the wife shackles was so funny. And please post the behind the scenes of the special.
Did we do? I'm trying to remember if we did behind the scenes on this one. We definitely have bloopers in there. So, like I said, we'll definitely get those going. And I think Rob said he literally called, like, middle of the night. He called me up and said, "Okay, when Tamra kisses the puppet, the way the mouth stretches," he says that was the funniest thing I ever saw. I just had to call and say, "Well done." So yeah, and a lot of people seem to like that.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. There were several ifs in your review of Anastasia, and whenever I hear you say if, I think fanscription. But I don't want to rush Walter or your brother. Speaking of whom, how are they?
Good. They're still working on the next one, man. I mean, that's like their 24-hour thing is getting that Batman and Robin done. But I mean, you saw the first part. I mean, you can see why it does take so long. I mean, there are just so many images, so many like cuts back and forth, and so much dialogue. I mean, it is kind of like writing a movie. So yeah, they're working their asses off on it.
Hypergirl Jen, thank you for the 50 bits. Also, hello, it's been a little while. Hey guys, I love the new special. Look forward to it every year. I've realized that as much as I like movie reviews, the internet has made it so annoying and scary to share movie opinions. So I'm glad we can get chill about commercials, as long as people don't start long man discourse.
Well, you just put it out in the universe, so it started here. At least we know where it started.
Somewhere on TikTok, some intellectual is like, yes, the long man discourse. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. In my opinion, once nuclear fusion is harnessed, I doubt we will need it to generate energy, as I have faith in renewable energy. I think we'll need it for we'll need it to remove uranium and plutonium from nuclear weapons and thereby eliminate the threat of nuclear fallout. To quote Thomas Eliot, "This is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but with a whimper."
You're gonna love Strange World, man. If you go see it, there's definitely that's one of the main focuses on is where they get their energy sources from. So I think you'll dig that movie.
Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. Sup, Doug and Heather? Hear the news that Bob Chapek, I never know how to say his name, got booted from being Disney CEO and replaced once again by Bob Iger. Guess kicking out Anastasia from the club was the final straw.
You know, I am furious because that's the first Disney CEO I kind of look like. And of course, they boot him out. So, I mean, to hell with the future of Disney. I'm just upset that someone actually looks like me and I can play him, and now I can't. It made the joke so much easier. Gotta put a wig back on when I do Bob Iger.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Nick Cage movies Pig, Mandy, or Prisoners of the Ghostland.
I never did see Prisoners of the Ghostland. I don't know what I would do for an NC on the other ones. The horrible confession, I didn't like Mandy that much. I did like Pig though. I thought that was pretty good. I haven't seen the Ghostland one, so I'll try to see that and see if maybe we can do that one.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Was it really your dad who wrote the soundtrack for What If Tim Burton directed Batman and Robin Part 1? I thought he was a retired Navy man.
Oh, he's retired from the Navy, yes, but helping us out with our dumb shit, yeah, he'll never be retired from that. No, and he loves doing it. He loves writing different versions. He always calls it decomposing. He's like, well, if I'm decomposing in real life, might as well do it in music too. He always says he likes, taking something that sounds familiar and reconstructing it in a way where it's like you can recognize what it is, but it's not the same music. And sometimes even then it's too similar. We got copyright claims on like Mulan for doing Make a Man Out of You and what's the other one, Phantom of the Opera, I think, even though like he did rework the music, but they're like, it sounds too close, so it still got hit. Dumb. We fought it, but still dumb.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. One of my favorite episodes of The Twilight Zone would be A Piano in the House, because I really like the very idea of an easy means of revealing one's true nature. My favorite character would be the curio shop owner. No matter how much of a difficult time he would show me, I would like him. What do you two think of the piano would reveal, and from whom?
Oh, it would reveal that I hate piano music, so.
So wait, I'm sorry. I've never seen this episode. So the piano reveals your true nature?
I forget how it works. I think somebody like, I forget if you just walk in with the piano it does, or if you have to play something, but somehow like it reveals something about you, like sort of a deep, dark, like how you really want to act. Kind of like that episode of Sandman where people can't lie. It's kind of like
Mm.
that. It reveals the real you kind of thing. Um, and it's been a while since I saw it. I think Walter talked about it this year, but it's like there's so many episodes I forget how exactly it works.
I don't think it would reveal too much about me. I'm not a very good liar. What you see is what you get.
Mm. Sure.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. Here's a meme reference to a piano in the house. People start unsubscribing from Channel Awesome. Doug Walker, if you leave me, I'm going to be very naughty.
You know, it's fine because I'm just assuming that's a line from the episode because I haven't seen it in a while. But I also love if it's not, that's just such a random thing to say too. So either way, it gets a laugh out of me.
DJ Lol5, thank you for that 4-month subscription. Welcome back, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi Doug, it's my 4-month anniversary and I want to say that Gilbert Godfrey was a fire alarm was something I never knew I needed until now. And I'm just imagining how funny it would be if he started swearing and insulting the children.
Yeah, no, and that one really made the rounds. Like people really, really remember that one. Apparently, like I remember growing up with it. I think I was in my teenhood at that point, so it wasn't something like we referenced a lot. But I definitely remember it, and I guess a lot of people did too. So I'm like, all right, he passed away, so I can talk about this. And again, I do the voice pretty well, so I knew I had to work that in.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. My favorite episode of The Twilight Zone would be To Serve Man. Spoiler alert, the Kana Mitts wanted to eat the humans, but if they had our current understanding of lab meat, then perhaps there would have been a different outcome. Do you two even know what I'm referring to?
You know, a follow up to that would be fun because you could do like a spin on War of the Worlds, where it's like the diseases that kill the aliens. Maybe like when they eat us, like the food we eat is actually like toxic to them, and you know, which would be a good commentary actually on what we do eat. So yeah, actually that'd be a pretty funny follow up.
Waveflow, thank you so much for that 39-month subscription. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Author, thank you for the 100 bits. If you want, oh, holy cow! See, sorry, I got alert. I'm not used to hearing, which is 10 gifted subs. CM Sully, you're
nice.
wild. Thank you.
Oh my god, thank you.
Appreciate
So
that.
kind.
That means we are only 6 away from the goal. Anyway, Author, thank you for the 100 bits. This is 1 out of 2. This is part 1. If you want further proof that DreamWorks rushed out Shark Tale as a Finding Nemo ripoff, there's a fact that they didn't even properly research marine biology. Case in point, when a male great white shark impregnates the female, he pretty much takes off afterwards and plays no role in raising the pups when they're born.
Yeah, that was clearly the biggest problem with the movie. Absolutely. You heard me rage about it in my review, you know? Just they did not do their homework.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the trailers for the Willem Dafoe movie Inside or the Nick Cage cowboy movie The Old Way? I haven't seen either.
Inside looks interesting. I feel like they're leaving something out because I'm like, well, wait, why doesn't he just? It feels like there'd be ways out of this, but I don't know. I get the feeling I gotta see the movie to see why he can't get out of there. But it looks good, and The Old Way looks like, I don't know. It looks exactly like what I thought the thumbnail would give me. You know what I mean? But that's kind of the fun too. It's Nicolas Cage as, you know, this old cowboy, and he's gonna go back and do things the way they should be, get revenge and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It looks like fun. They both look good in their own unique way.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. I found a list of dark tunes for your consideration. I removed 3 of them that you already used. 1, Failsafe from Young Justice. 2, Long Live the Queen from Legend of Korra. 3, For the Man Who Had Everything from Justice League. 4, The Puppet Master from Avatar. Weird Mageddon is 5. 6, Return of the Joker. 7, Pigeon Man from Hey Arnold. 8, Haunted from Teen Titans. 9, Over the Edge, Batman. And 10, One Beer, Tiny Toons. 11, To Heck and Back, Rocko's Modern Life. 12, The Day the Ed Stood Still.
I did do the One Beer episode from Tiny Toons. I think it's called like the band Tiny Toons episode, something like that. So look that up. The others, I tried to do ones that aren't really as much like for teens and older kids because I like ones that kind of sneak stuff into, like, you know, something that's supposed to be like for all audiences, including little kids, and like they kind of sneak in this creepy stuff. But the Hey Arnold one, maybe, because I haven't really grown up with Hey Arnold, so I don't know much about like the darker episodes. So maybe I'll look into that one, that pigeon one.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. This is part 2 out of 2. Finding Nemo acknowledges the fact that Bruce woefully laments that he never knew his father. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Shark Tale has Robert De Niro Shark actively raising both of his sons, and that's before you even get into the Shark Mafia bullshit the movie tries to pass off.
I mean, okay, and I don't like Shark Tale, but I wouldn't use that against the movie. I would more use that as a compliment to Finding Nemo because I didn't know that. And that line is funny even if you don't know that, but now knowing that information, that is hilarious. So yeah, I would use that more as a means to build up Finding Nemo than to shit on Shark Tale because again, I don't think that's the style of the movie anyway, the type of humor, but that's still really, really funny and really cool to know.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Dark Toons idea, the Rugrats All Grown Up special, interview with a campfire.
All right, maybe I'll check that out.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. I've compiled a list of Dark Hey Arnold episodes for your consideration. 1. The Haunted Train. 2. Four-Eyed Jack. 3. Monkey Business. 4. Headless Cabby. 5. Sid the Vampire Slayer. 6. Sid and Germs. And 7. Ghost Bride.
All right, I might check those. Let me write down because that sounds like a fair amount, honestly. Like I said, I haven't seen a ton of Hey Arnold, but maybe that'll be why, maybe people will click on it to see like my reactions to it. Because yeah, that sounds like those are good spooky episodes. I remember them being kind of artistically pleasing to look at too. So yeah, maybe I'll check those out. I think we got them all at the studio. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that might be worth looking at.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Freak Show Cinema for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie.
Would that count? I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be interesting to talk about. Yeah, I didn't hate that movie. I can't say it's good, but it was still neat to see some of that stuff on the big screen and with a budget and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Might be a good idea.
3M Onion, thank you for the 100 bits. What's for nostalgia Christmas season or Disney-cember this year? Also, is DC Shazam considered a Christmas movie even as a superhero movie?
I was gonna do that for the NC this year, but then when they moved the movie back to March, I'm like, does it make sense? I don't know. I found other movies I wanted to do instead and other specials. So what am I doing? We are doing Elf. We literally just filmed it. I'm editing it right now. Because man, the split on that movie I find fascinating and really understandable. Like I completely get it, and I think it's interesting to talk about. And I'm in the middle. I thought I was gonna hate it when I saw it again, and I was like, no, actually, I think a lot of this does work. But yes, a lot of it is very annoying. And I do work it, especially Heather, when you were talking about all the kids quoting it and acting it out. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is making sense. I can see how people would hate this movie. I think I even have a count of like all the moments that scarred parents because their kids would scream or reenact these moments. So yeah, so it's like, and that's really interesting to me. So it's like, yeah, I like working that stuff in.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. I literally just finished watching the commercial special and I was eating pizza while watching it, and all I can say is, you're evil, Doug.
No, it's all from Mr. Bill. Blame him. I mean, it all started with him.
LJH, thank you for the 50 bits. I watched A Clockwork Orange for the first time. I know that's one of your favorite movies. What's your favorite scene in that movie?
I could make an awful joke. I'm not going to. No, honestly, the scene that I think really, man, I'm trying to think because there's moments I remember where like the guy is talking about choice. The priest there is talking about is setting up essentially the dilemma in the movie, which is one of the few times where like I think Kubrick has really just straight up kind of said the point of the film. And I do remember that really sticking with me, just like, well, this guy's a terrible, I mean, terrible person. And he's supposed to be really young, too. He's supposed to be 15 in the book. I don't think he looks 15 in the movie, but he does look very young. And I just remember it being, like, so challenging to me, like, watching this movie where this guy is just so despicable, yet we're supposed to be, like, feeling sorry for him in the second half. And it's, I don't know, it was such a challenging movie. And I think when that scene popped up and introduced that idea of maybe feeling sorry for him, I think at that age, because I saw it pretty young, I was really intrigued by that. Because I guess I didn't have like a black and white way of looking at everything. But I mean, they just made this guy so horrendous that I did go, man, okay, this is really fascinating. And then the writer who was like, man, you poor young man, we have to, help you as best we can. Then when he finds out who he is, the past history, it just completely turns. All that to like someone who I think it was in late high school or early college when I saw it. That was very challenging for me to see. And that's still one of the reasons it's one of my favorite movies.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. R.I.P. Jason David Frank, the greatest Power Ranger of all time.
Yeah. Fuck, wasn't that shocking to see? I'm not even like a Power Rangers guy, and I was shocked seeing that. And I also know, like I said, I was talking to Walter about, because he's like a huge Power Rangers fan, and he was talking about how hard, that hit him. And I was saying, even though I wasn't a fan of the show growing up, everybody loved Tommy. I mean, that's the fucking Green Ranger. He was the one that like everybody could agree. Yeah, he's the one like cool part that everybody loves, whether you like the show or not. So yeah, hearing that was just, and Walter was talking about like all these cool things he would do at like conventions and stuff. I guess he met him a couple times, and he was always so cool and so awesome. So yeah, no, that was a bummer to hear. Even someone that doesn't get into the show that much, that was a legit bummer. And even if I didn't know who that was, that'd still be a terrible thing, to hear, because that's always really sad.
I hate to do tonal whiplash, but that Disney nerd, thank you for the 5 subs. So we hit 250, baby. Let's go, chat. Let's go.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. So kind.
Talking to
and
Carl.
Yes, it is a tonal change.
It is. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much.
Talking of Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Is Long Long Man the Days of Our Lives for Japan? Because I'm super invested in the story. By the way, why didn't you get Heather involved in a Japanese commercial?
Because I'm the worst.
I'm also...
Actually, she is... You're in the upcoming one, so...
Yes. I am also not Japanese. I just lived there for a little.
Yeah. Well,
for
you can translate it, though. But it's already translated, so yeah, it seems strange. And I would argue, if not Long Long Man, then Segata would be the Days of Our Lives.
Love
Both
Segata.
of those. America started to do that with commercials. They would have continuing commercials that would just draw out the joke. And they don't do them anymore. And it's a shame, because, man, were they funny. And I wonder if we took that from Japan or not, because I didn't know they were doing it there. It's like, of course they are. That's such a Japanese thing. So yeah, I wonder who got to that first.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we get a clue for next week's NC? Is it Willow, since the sequel series is coming to Disney Plus soon?
It's not. Man, what's a joke that I can use for this? I don't know. It's the no shit. Okay, here's one. The font of the title screen is Who Framed Roger Rabbit for no reason. It's really weird. It's spelled in the exact same font as Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and there's never a reason for it. So there's your clue. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. DJ Wall 5, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you hear about Bob Iger returning as a CEO for Disney? Guess Disney looked at what Zaslav is doing to Warner Bros. And said, we have to kick Chapek out before he does the same to this company.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess a lot of it's like stock stuff and everything that just wasn't turning out that great. I mean, honestly, after the Disney remake started becoming a thing, it's hard for me to know the difference between like Iger and him. But I'm sure if I saw more behind the scenes stuff, I would notice a big difference.
Now is the midwinter. Thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. Would you ever consider doing a franchise overview for the Indiana Jones movies when the new one comes out? Or at least doing a Disney-Cember, since they are technically Disney movies now. Not spamming, I just forgot. Oh, yeah, you're good.
I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe Lucasfilm isn't a bad idea. I'm gonna put that down as, because I'm trying to think of what the next one's gonna be. The whole thing has been just get to the end of this one. It's like, yeah, shit, what is the next theme gonna be? Doing an overview of the movies is probably not a bad idea because I did do Temple of Doom, and even that I wouldn't mind kind of returning back to and talking about it because I still don't like it. But the kind of bad it is kind of interesting. The two different tones of like just a cute little kid making funny jokes, and then just like children being whipped and hearts being ripped out. It's like what the. So like it's a different kind of bad to say like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So I don't know. I maybe an overview of the movies might be good. I think you're onto something there.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank goodness for Dick. Ray Plumbing. Who doesn't love Dick? Ray Plumbing. Doug, have you introduced the CA crew to the wonders of Dick? Ray Plumbing.
You know, it'd be funny if you didn't have Ray Plumbing at the end of that one, actually. If you introduce him to Dick and just leave it open, like, well, what'd you mean by that? I mean, you gotta love Dick.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Elaine moment from Seinfeld?
You know, just think about made me laugh, so that's it. It's the one where there's like a germaphobe in her office, and she, you know, of course it's always a long story short with Seinfeld, but like she's yelling at her that's not such a big deal, and I think she like coughs on her mouse and then rubs the keyboard on her ass and walks out and stuff. And later they say, you know, there's been some complaints made about you from one of our coworkers here, and she just goes, she's just upset because I coughed on her mouse and rubbed her keyboard on my butt. And everybody looks at her with this weird expression. She goes, yeah, wacko. The way she said that was one of the funniest things I ever heard.
Honest reviewer, thank you for the 50 bits. So, Doug, have you checked out the new Avatar trailer that came out yesterday?
There was a new one? Okay. I thought I saw whatever the newest one was. You know, at this point, because I saw the teaser and I saw the first trailer, I might just wait now because we're so close to it. And I don't know. Part of what, I mean, the fun part of those movies, I guess, is seeing it on the big screen on IMAX in the 3D. And I did see a trailer in 3D, and it looked good. I mean, spoilers, I saw Wakanda Forever in 3D. It was not that great in 3D, but the Avatar one was pretty amazing. So, yeah, it was. I might just hold off. I actually think I will be surprised by it. I want to give it as much of a chance as possible because I know people like the first one. So, maybe I'll hold on from it.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, I remember last week someone asking you what a film that's almost perfect aside from one flaw. You said Wendell and Wild. For me, I have to go with Toy Story 1995. While some of the animation looks a little dated by today's standards, notably the humans and the dog, the writing and pacing make it feel perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say, what's the flaw? You just pointed out the humans and the dog. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like the gold standard. Well, and again, all CG movies today are trying to mimic either Toy Story or Shrek. You could even make a slight argument Shrek was trying to emulate Toy Story, just kind of take it to the next level. But yeah, it's kind of like when Snow White came out. Just like every animated movie has been, every hand-drawn animated movie has been trying to do something similar, you know, until it finally started to branch out to something different. But yeah, that really was the gold standard.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Long Man sounds like the love child of Dick Ray and the Wonder Boner.
Well, shit, I should have made that joke.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. I was watching the Waltons Thanksgiving, and I realized how much of a ladies' man John Boy is.
I would totally agree if I've ever seen the Waltons.
Yeah, I haven't either, sorry.
That's another one of those shows. I recognize it. I think I know one or two sort of jokes or memes from it, but it's like, I've never seen it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. All right, that's it. Can someone get Brad to try Wilkins coffee and tell us how it tastes? Because now I'm too curious. By the way, I was half expecting you to insert a WandaVision clip in the coffee commercial part.
Not a bad idea. I have looked for Wilkins coffee. As far as I can tell, there isn't any. Because, yeah, it is one of those things where it's like, I had to edit that so much when I was putting it together and look at clips and stuff. You're like, I am like, you know, how is this damn coffee? Like, I really am curious. But yeah, apparently there's none to be found. It's been out of print, if that's what you want to say, for decades.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Best so bad it's good movie between Face Off, Lady in the Water, or Plan 9 from Outer Space.
I mean, I think Face Off is kind of a legit good movie, honestly. For what it's trying to do, I think it does it. But for Plan 9 and Lady in the Water, I mean, okay, Plan 9's a classic, but you know why it's bad. Oh, how did this movie turn out this way? You know exactly why. He just wanted to get to the next shot. He didn't have a budget. Lady in the Water is so fucking bonkers that you just can't possibly fathom why it is this way. So yeah, I'll say Lady in the Water.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. Do you have a small hint as to what next year's theme month is?
Uh, well, you might have just seen it right here, honestly, because I didn't think about what it would be. I think one of these years I should probably do Disney rides, but I think it should be one of those things where it's like, okay, we should plan like a trip to Disney to do that. Yeah, right. And it is
Oh,
one of those things where I'm just like, well, okay, and then even then I'm like, well, do we film it? Can I film it? Does that take away from reviewing it if I'm filming it and stuff? Like, I don't know. So that it's definitely not going to be next year. But and maybe Lucasfilm. That's not that bad an idea. So yeah, we might do that.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, who do you think is the cutest animated character you've ever seen? My favorite is Adorabat. Look up an image and try not to go, aww.
Okay, let's see. Adora Bat.
Yeah. I have a
Adora
strange
Bat.
affinity for Rilakuma. I love Rilakuma.
Adora Bat's pretty cute. Yeah, no, it's pretty adorable. Yeah, what's yours, Heather?
Rilakuma, Rilakuma.
Yeah, popped up right away. Let's
Rilakuma.
see. Oh, it's pretty cute.
He's
Um,
just a relaxing bear doing whatever he wants, man.
um, I think like no, that's not anime. I'm trying to think. Maybe like Ponyo before she becomes a kid when she's just that weird little fish
Tadpole
thing.
thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cute. I don't know if that's like the cutest, but it's like no, wait, I fucking know. In Paranoia Agent, the little pink dog in there that becomes like this big hit. That's pretty adorable, and I love it because the rest of the series is so ungodly disturbing that I love at the center is just this kind of cute little dog.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Iron Man, Spy Kids, or Jackass movies.
Uh, Spy Kids might be interesting. Just another thing where you go through the movie. Yeah, let me write that down. That ain't bad. Um, because again, I'm trying to think of ones that like people haven't talked much about. And granted, I did do one of the Spy Kids movies, but it's like it'd be interesting to do like all of them because there's like a fourth one too I haven't seen. And they're interesting to talk about. So yeah, that one I'll probably do. Everyone's talked about the Iron Man movies though.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Speaking of Toy Story, what's your favorite moment from any of the movies, and who's your favorite main character and supporting character in the franchise?
Man, let's see, favorite character. Trying to think of the one that made me laugh the most. Maybe I'm blanking on his name. The piggy bank. Is it Ham? They
Ham.
just call him
Yeah,
Ham.
Ham.
Yeah, okay. He's pretty funny. And favorite scene, man, it's got to be something from two. And I don't know if it's like my favorite moment just in terms of storytelling, but it's one of my favorite movie going experiences where everyone was so into the moment and the movie that when they're on the plane and I think like Woody's half flies away and then Buzz catches it riding Woody's horse, just the theater erupted in applause. Just everyone was so into it. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool that people are howling, cheering at the screen for this goddamn kids movie. I love that. I love that, Jess. And it was mostly adults. There wasn't even that many kids. Like everyone just had understanding. No, yeah, we know this is for kids, but God, it's for us too. They're doing something that really connects to me. It makes me feel like a kid. I'm gonna cheer at the screen. It was a cool moment.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, not sure if you knew this, but Tim Blake Nelson's character from The Incredible Hulk is finally returning as the villainous leader in Captain America New World Order, 16 years after being exposed to Bruce Banner's blood. Think it'll be worth the wait?
I'll say, well, first of all, he's a great actor. He's got a great range. Second, I'd be lying if I said that didn't drive me insane. When you see that little glop or whatever following him, it gets a little smile, and then they just never do anything with that character. And it's like, I don't know, he didn't play that big a part in the movie, whatever, but that just, it's always in the back of my head, like, yeah, you never did anything with that. You never did. It just stands out. So, yeah, just a little OCD part of my brain is very happy about that. I'm glad it's still him. In terms of the character or anything, I don't know. I don't know shit about it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Fave, genuinely good, not so bad it's good, Nick Cage movie.
Uh, Bringing Out the Dead's really good, and it's really underrated. It's so good, I kind of get uncomfortable watching it. You just feel like how claustrophobic that ambulance is, and there's not much light in it. It's just all the city lights. He does the whole thing at night. You know, that's like his job and everything. So it's like, I'll probably go with that because he just looks and acts like a person that's just up all night, you know, doing this and sees nothing but death around him. And I like it too because when I first saw it, I liked it, but I didn't follow it. I didn't fully understand it. And then when I saw it as an adult, I'm just like, oh man, this is really fucking good. This is deep. This is some deep shit, man.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 50 bits. I actually had Be Cool About Fire Safety on VHS as a kid. Between Gilbert Gottfried, Little Richard doing a song, and Michael Winslow doing a skit with his sound effects, it's better than it has any right to be.
Yeah, I get the feeling they probably show that at schools. You know, when you go to the fire department, when schools visit, they play like that video. They
Yeah.
did something like that when we were younger, but it wasn't that. So I'd always see like little snippets of something else in there. But growing up, all they had was just that little song, "Be cool about fire safety," and you'll see boy smoke detector, and like it would just be that section. So I never did see the rest of it. I don't know how much I would get into the rest of it because again, the Godfrey stuff is the stuff that was played over and over, and that I remember.
DJ Lull5, thank you for the 50 bits. Just saw the first episode for Wednesday, and so far it feels authentic to the Addams family while telling a new story with Wednesday, and that Tim Burton is finally getting his mojo back.
Yeah, we're halfway through the first episode, and I should see the whole episode. Hell, I should see the whole season before I judge it. I'm liking it, but the writing so far is very inconsistent, and that's throwing me off. There are some good jokes in it and a little bit of a good setup. I think it's trying to do like a mix of Addams Family, Riverdale, and like Harry Potter, you know, together at last, you know, but it's one of those things where the tone of what's creepy, what's acceptable, and what isn't is kind of all over the map. Like, I always like how the Ends family was kind of this really healthy family unit, and it starts off with like a big divide between her and the parents, especially the mother. And I'm just like, but when they almost want that or like that, I'm thinking a lot of the insults she's throwing at them, they would see as a compliment. And then sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So that's throwing me off. Everything else I'm digging though. I am digging kind of like the mystery and the look and stuff, and I do want to know where it's going. So, and again, that's only halfway through the first episode, so I'm probably talking already too much about it. Sorry.
Terrence True, thank you for the 50 bits. Would you do a comparison of all the Thing movies, from Thing from Another World to the Thing prequel, considering it's gotten cold and it's the best time for it?
I don't know. I've only seen is it John Carpenter? He do that one? I've only seen that one. I haven't seen the original. I haven't seen any of the spin-offs. But I don't know. I almost feel like that's all I need to see because I was so blown away by. Did you ever end up seeing that one, Heather?
No.
Did you ever see that one? Oh, you gotta see it.
I
Oh
know.
my god. Just from a special effects standpoint. I mean, it's a great movie anyway. The special effects really are just next level. Like, no special effects have like ever been that good, in my opinion. I'm still watching it like, how did they do that?
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Reviewers have brought up that Marvel Phase 4 has not only been about passing the torch, but it's been about grief one way or the other. And I've been saying for a while, because some people been complaining Marvel being all over the place. You don't see it now, but it will all make sense soon. People shouldn't know every detail, just enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I mean, with that said, I mean, you can still have a bumpy journey too. I remember Phase 2 not being like that great, and people say, oh, they only had one phase, that was it, Avengers, there's nothing after that. It's like, no, they were fine. And this is bumpy. I guess you could say maybe it's more bumpy than Phase 2, but it's like there's nothing in it where I say, okay, that's it, they're gone, they spent their load. It's like, no, it sounds like they got something else lined up. It sounds interesting. They're doing different stuff. That's the stuff I'm most excited about when they experiment with something different, like the werewolf or Loki and stuff. And even WandaVision is different. So yeah, I'm not saying, oh, that's it, they're gone. No, bullshit. You got Spider-Man, you got Wakanda Forever, you got a lot of the TV shows, which are great and stuff. So it's like, I think it's fine. I would be lying if I said it wasn't kind of bumpy, though.
Hypergirl Jen, thank you for the 50 bits. Are you familiar with CS188? I recognize both the coffee commercials and the fire safety PSAs from your new special because they did YouTube poops of him. They're one of the only YouTube poopers I still watch in 2022.
No, not ringing the bell, but yeah, he's got. Or wait, or no, I don't think so. I don't think I've seen this guy. If I have, I don't remember him. I know it's like my catchphrase, but I don't remember it. But no, I'll try to check him out.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Taken, Fast and Furious, or Rush Hour movies.
You know, I never have seen a Taken movie, so maybe that would be a good excuse to do that.
Mhm.
And Fast and Furious, there's just too damn many of them, and so I've really jumped around on them. I think I've seen maybe 3 of them, and they were like I've seen the first one, then I've seen like, I don't know, 4 and 6. Like I just don't follow them that closely. I mean, when they became heist movies, I was liking them then. I didn't even like the first one that much. So, but maybe I could go back and like them now. I don't know. There's way too many. I think it would just take too much time to watch them all. So it's not in the cards.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I've been waiting 2 years for a Disney December review for Amphibia. I'm so happy you watched and enjoyed it. I can't wait to hear your in-depth thoughts of the show as a whole.
Yeah, that's I haven't edited it yet either. I recorded it, but I haven't edited it yet. So yeah, I'll be we'll both be interested to see how that turns out.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. I got to see Jeff Dunham this past Sunday. It was a hilarious show, totally worth me getting sick.
Oh, nice. Yeah, maybe I gotta watch him again. I don't remember, how do I put it? I didn't get into his stuff, but there was nothing that was like, he's an insult to comedy or anything like that. It just didn't make me laugh. I did find and maybe this is just me, I like the stuff that's kind of tasteless when he does that kind of stuff, but that's just kind of my humor sometimes, especially with puppets. It's just always more shocking when it's done with like a cute little puppet. But yeah, I haven't seen him in, God, maybe 15 years. Oh, you hush up. So yeah, maybe I give him another chance, because I don't know, I'm always impressed with comedians that are still around while I'm like, yeah, well, that's a fad, but they're still going, and I don't know, it's like they earn another look when they last this long.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Heather, I don't know if you got the new Pokemon game, but I'm not hearing good things. So much so that I'm probably not buying it. I do have my hands on a copy of Pokemon Violet. I was supposed to start it on Monday, but I will instead be starting it this Monday. I'm actually pretty excited about it because I've heard that outside of some of the graphics being kind of wonky and like having some memory crash issues, that actually some of the gameplay and like Pokemon are really great. So I'm interested in seeing what people are talking about, and to see if I can catch any of those glitches live on stream. Might be hilarious, honestly.
Pokemon glitch. Somebody else must have done that at this point.
Blake the Nothing, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving!
Back at ya.
Yeah, right back at ya. Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you ever watched the YouTube channel Red Letter Media, and what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah. It's nice to see them finally get, like, I don't want to say the recognition they've deserved, because they've always been, a lot of people have always liked them. They've always had kind of a following, but like for a long time, I feel like people would always be like, why aren't they at 1 million subscribers? Why isn't like everybody watching them? And I think the audience just kind of had to get there and have it catch on, because their stuff was so dry. But yeah, I haven't watched them in a while, but yeah, I remember just always thinking like, man, more people got to watch them. And it's like, I'm glad they are. I mean, they could do a video on like whatever, a killer Easter bunny or something, and probably get like 1 million views now. So it's like, it's really turned, and that's nice to see. It's nice to see that audience like kind of caught up to them, because I think they really haven't changed much, and they've always been pretty funny and informative. Like they give legit good reviews.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, I have this idea for this animated adult series called Wild Side, kind of like Zootopia meet the Boondocks in South Park. It follows 6 teenage anthro animals and the things they do together.
Go for it. Yeah, make it. I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about right now is that, I mean, you don't have to go the Hollywood route. I mean, it's like you can put stuff online now and you can just, take the gamble, see if it works and stuff. So it's like, yeah, try it. Take your time, put it together, see what you can make.
Dino Mike, thank you for the 50 bits. Loved the commercial special this year. Got me rolling and laughing. Also, any hints for next week's NC review for the first week of December? Garfield's Christmas, maybe?
Well, no, actually, I already said it's Elf, but that is on the list for this year to do the Garfield Christmas, especially with the passing of what's her name? Ursula.
Pat Carroll.
Carroll, yeah, with her passing, because she was the grandma in there and gives a monologue I listen to every Christmas, so I feel like I got to talk about that this year.
Hypergirl Jen, thank you for the 50 bits. Did you see the teaser gifs for the new Clone High season? Sorry.
I only this year heard that they were doing another season. I'm so excited because I love that show, and I didn't know Lord Miller did that show, which just makes so much sense. So, yeah, no, I'm crazy excited.
Rand C Gaming, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. I was wondering if you saw Disney's Strange World, and what are your thoughts?
The world was cool. I thought everything else was underwhelming. But I mean, that's a step above Buzz Lightyear, where it's like not all of it was underwhelming. At least here, the world was really cool.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 50 bits. When I typed your review of RoboCop, I meant your review of The Terminator.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I was like, man, I don't remember saying that, RoboCop. But yeah, I mean, I will say this. We all think of that future, the apocalyptic future, all the skulls and stuff. So it's a great visual. But yeah, there is something where it's like, man, it would have been... I feel like it would have been a little bit more uncomfortable if you never did see it. But by the time Terminator 2 rolls around, it's like, I think it does make sense to finally just show it in all its terrible glory.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, The Chosen is on fire right now. It's not like any other telling of Jesus. It's less preachy and more cinematic. Seasons 1 and 2 have only 8 episodes each, so you'll catch up in no time.
I'll say if there's anything where I would say, yeah, that could be a little preachy, it's probably the story of Jesus, so I would probably let that slide. But no, that's cool. Yeah, if I have time, I will try to check it out.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Did you pick up any good movies for Black Friday? I bought the new Scream and the Nicolas Cage movie Pig. I've heard nothing but great things about it, so I had to see for myself.
Yeah, Pig's good. That sounds funny. Pig's good. But no, I don't think I picked up anything. I don't know. I don't usually do Black Friday deals. Sometimes we go downtown Chicago it just to kind of walk around and see like the Christmas decorations and stuff like that. But yeah, we usually don't do any like crazy deals or wait in line or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know.
I'm a good old-fashioned Midwestern gal, so I love a good Black Friday deal. I am hoping to maybe get my hands on the Criterion collection of WALL-E. That release just came out like literally yesterday, and I think it's like 50% off from $50 because it's a 4K Blu-ray. So I might see if I can get my hands on that. M-Tappin, thank you for the 50 bits. I saw Strange World today. There are several things I think you would like, especially the animation and the wholesome characters and family dynamic. The story, though, is probably the weakest part of the movie. Otherwise, a decent family film.
Yeah, I didn't even get into the characters or the dynamic, mostly because I've seen it over and over. But I do agree the environment and the world and the reveal of what it is, I thought was pretty cool and creative.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. One of the few small problems I have with Disney is sometimes they shove in characters in shows and movies just to make backdoor pilots for the character's own show or movie. And I don't necessarily want to talk too much about this character in Black Panther 2 that they're referencing, because I didn't know that was going to have...
I know what you're talking about, though.
Although, honestly, Talkative Carl, I would disagree with that. I feel like that character in Black Panther 2 was pretty fundamental to the plot.
Does this character have a... Does this character kind of fly near the end?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's getting her own Disney Plus show soon.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, so it didn't. hmm, no, she's essential to the plot. I would
Right.
say I would have, because there's so many characters. I would have liked a little bit more of her. Like it seemed like she had a character, but not to a point where I'd be like, oh man, that's so her line. You know what I mean? Where it's like I feel like they had a good setup. I would like to see them explore more, but they're doing so much. Understandably, they're trying to find a new Black Panther in this while still keeping
Yeah.
this great roster of side characters going. So I know what you're talking about, but no, she's needed. I think she's needed in
Right,
there.
right. But I do agree that not every side character needs its own show.
Yes, I didn't even know she was getting her own show, but I was excited to see more what they would do with her.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Not counting musicals slash musical numbers, favorite use of a song in a movie slash favorite movie soundtrack. Ooh. Baby Driver. Baby Driver's soundtrack with how it works
Mm.
in that movie is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking good. Man, I'm sure there's like I don't think this counts. Okay, I'll agree with you, Baby Driver, but kind of like in the same vein, I'll say Hot Fuzz because if you
Mm.
listen to the songs they're playing, especially when Timothy Dalton is around, they're all songs that kind of match what's going on, and I think that's really clever. I'm sure there's other ones too, but yeah, Baby Driver is pretty fucking good.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. For context, I work at a high school. I showed some students a clip from Big Guy and Rusty, the boy robot series, and they could not stop laughing at the corniness of the lines.
um, yeah, what was that on Fox Kids or something? I can't. I'm trying to remember. I think I saw like an episode or two just to talk about it, but I don't think I got like a full idea of the show. So yeah, I remember the style of it, like the drawing style, but I don't remember too much else about it.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 100 bits. Question for Heather. What would you do if a man blamed you for making lousy coffee as the old 60s commercials did?
I told you that was gonna come up.
Yep. I'd toss it in their face and walk away.
Well, it's hot or cold.
Oh,
Please
well,
say
it's hot.
yes, obviously.
Oh, Dragon's Toy, that's also a good option. I would just set them on fire. Or maybe put their hand on the hot plate and be like, then you make it, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Lucas is fine. Totally normal. Ignore those burn marks. No.
Wait, does Lucas insult your coffee that way? What the fuck?
No, he doesn't. He's very happy when I make coffee in the morning.
And you're like, and that's weird because my coffee is terrible. No.
Darling Jack, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, have you seen The Menu yet? And if so, did you enjoy it? I thought Ralph Phineas was brilliant in it.
You know, I've never heard it said that way, but you're right. That is how it's spelled.
Fines. Nope. Yep. Sorry.
Ray Fiennes.
My
Yeah,
my
no,
stupid brain read it wrong. Fines.
No,
As
but
soon as you
that
said
is
that,
how
I
it's-
was like, I'm sorry.
but that is how it's spelled. I heard it first before seeing it spelled out, so I'm like, that is how it's spelled. It's weird. But yeah, I adored it. That's about as perfectly told a movie as you can get. It's one of those where it's like, I just can't even think of a problem with it. I thought it was just perfectly done, and by God, I want a cheeseburger by the end of it. The following day, I got like a gourmet cheeseburger because I'm like, no, it's still in my head. I gotta get one.
That Excuse me, that Disney nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Long Long Man also sounds like the title of a horror film. The Long Long Man kills his victims by pulling them apart like people did to him.
I mean, you can kind of see Slender Man called that, can't you? Because he's also pretty stretched long.
Mm-hmm. Hypergirl Jen, thank you for the 50 bits. Also, I've been on a really big Futurama hyperfixation lately because of the revival news. And when the Chicken Limbo ad came out, I immediately thought of Hermes. So I laughed when you made the same joke. Hermes deserves more appreciation.
Yeah, I like Hermes. A lot of those characters, like especially in the first season, you could tell they're trying to get their footing. Amy didn't really have much of an identity either. I still say Leela doesn't have that great an identity. Like it's passable enough, but that's like the one where I'm like, yeah, I don't know if they ever got her figured out. But Hermes is pretty funny, and Amy's pretty funny. All the side characters, I think. Zoidberg got fucking hilarious. So yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what they do with the revival.
Dillbomb, thank you for the 50 bits. Would you want or be open to see Edgar Wright do another movie with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost? I was thinking today that I would love to see the trio reunite for a Christmas movie.
Okay. I'd love to see how they do a Christmas movie. I mean, if they feel like they want to do it, it's like, please do. I mean, I don't want to force anyone that, like a creative team that good, to be like another one if they don't want to do it. Because I always feel like that's the thing. They did those movies just because they wanted to. So yeah, if they were like, yeah, we want to do this again, please. I mean, I'll see it definitely.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 50 bits. What's your favorite commercial that you have reviewed so far?
Hmm. I mean, does that mean funniest, or does it mean one I legit have like nostalgic like connections
They said
to?
your favorite.
Favorite. So man, I gotta think. I'm trying to think of one where we were just blown away watching it. Maybe like that pole position ad, because we were just like, what is this? How did we not grow up with this ad? So I don't know. I don't have any nostalgic feels for it because I didn't grow up with it, but that's probably my favorite because it was just so funny.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Heather, I don't know how far you've gotten in God of War Ragnarok, but I recently in the game something happened I thought had to be referencing a classic movie. I don't want to spoil it, and I don't know if you'll notice immediately, but if Doug sees it, he would notice. If I can give a slight hint, it might be Jim Carrey related. It's so cool. I literally have only played Ragnarok for like 3 hours, so I have not gotten very far.
So keep an eye out for something Jim Carrey-esque.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I've never played any of these games, but I'm just guessing maybe something with Truman showing like hitting the wall with the clouds. That's the only thing I would think, or like the stairs there. But yeah, because there's nothing else I can think with Jim Carrey that'd be like, yeah, that'd be in God of War.
Tappin, thank you for the 50 bits. Where did you find your donut shirt you used for the commercial special?
You know, that's an excellent question because, man, it's hard to find now. Because there's like a little yellow stain eye. It's always been there, but the camera's never been like high quality enough to see it. And then I think like the past couple, I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing it a little bit. I should get another one. And they were nowhere to be found. And literally, I had to get one from a site where it was labeled Nostalgia Critic, I donut shirts. And I'm like, well, this is kind of ironic. Okay. So I literally ordered a Nostalgia Critic shirt for the Nostalgia Critic. But it was just a shirt Rob had because for whatever reason, he was known as like the donut guy for a while. He would have like anime night. He would always bring donuts for everyone. So it just kind of became a running joke. And yeah, I was like, I just need a shirt to wear to look depressed and out of character for the first one. And yeah, just kind of stuck.
CM Sully, thank you for the 21-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Hello, Doug, Heather, and everyone else. If I can't think of anything else to say, then I hope everyone has a wonderful Turkey Massacre Day.
You know, at least one gets pardoned if they still do that at the White House.
Randacy Gaming, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. I found an old Disney XD show called Motor City. The art is so good and was wondering if you'd review it for next Disney-cember.
Let me see. Motor City Disney. Yeah, I've never seen this show. Maybe? Yeah, I've never even heard of it. I'll try to check it out.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I always enjoy your commercial videos. Here's my idea. Review trailers. A trailer-thon, if you will. They're nostalgic, get you excited to see the film, and the old ones are unique, like the teaser for The Shining. That was frighteningly otherworldly.
It's not a bad idea. The only thing is it sounds ridiculous, but even trailers can get copyright claimed. And because they're so short, they're really, really tricky to talk about and keep showing clips of. I mean, most commercials are not. But even then, some are. That 1984 one, the Ridley Scott one, like that, we got copyright hit on that. You know, and again, we're reviewing it, we're doing it, so we fought it, but it's like, all right, whenever we do a compilation, we have to keep that out because we'll always have to fight it every time we upload it. So yeah, and trailers we found out definitely are. So yeah, probably not, but it's not a bad idea.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello to you, Doug and Heather. Sorry it took me a while. Just finished your commercial special. Sorry. Excellent as always, as well as multitasking, baking an apple pie for tomorrow and watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Anyway, I hope you guys are fantastic.
Yeah, if you haven't seen, they released a new version or a new 4K disc that actually has like a ton of deleted scenes on there. This guy called Hats Off Media did this whole thing about like this cut that has the script's a lot longer and there's a lot of like extra scenes in there and stuff. So there's finally like this version has like hours of scenes that have like never been seen by anybody. And it's really, really cool. So check it out if you haven't yet.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 50 bits. Did you see James's video of TV censorship and the funny ways executives would censor bad words from TV?
Yes, and he left out my favorite one. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's my favorite because the first time we heard it, we said, huh? Instead of son of a bitch, it's slug in a ditch. Like, who says that? What does that mean? Yeah, and it was like a Michael J. Fox movie. It was him and James Woods, and I think it's called like The Hard Way or something like that. And they just said it over and over and over, and it just made us laugh so hard. And then Goodfellas. I think my aunt, because my aunt loves that movie, and she texted me and said they're running Goodfellas on CBS if you want a good laugh. And I remember the censorship on that was very funny. But he brought something interesting too. It's like, yeah, how often is that even done now? Like maybe just even on airplanes, I don't think they censor them now. So that might be like a dying quote unquote art, that's not really done anymore. So yeah, I don't know.
CM Sully, thank you again so much for those 10 gifted subs. We really appreciate it. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Part of me thinks the Wednesday Addams series might just be okay in the end. I don't think it's necessary to throw in a Harry Potter theme to it. A slice of life coming of age story for Wednesday at Home would work fine. I love Catherine Zeta-Jones, but I think her A-list celebrity overshadows her portrayal of Morticia.
I don't want to agree with you, but you might have a point there. With that said, she looks great, doesn't she? Oh my God, she has aged so gracefully. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think if it started, at least with the first episode, if we started off at the house, and we saw a little bit more how the family interacts, I'd be more on board with it. But the fact they threw us right into the school, and sort of this fighting with the family, I just don't know about that. Because this is a different version, and it doesn't feel right to have them fighting right off the bat. Because again, that's not really the world that the Addams family is. So, and we can lead to that. We can get into that. Because what would them fighting be like? That would be interesting. But starting off with that, I think is a mistake. But yeah, again, I really should wait till I see the whole show.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 200 bits. Also, I want to say that I hope you two, as well as the rest of the Channel Awesome cast and crew, have a wonderful Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. I'm thankful for you guys. You make me smile and laugh every time, even when I've had a bad day. So thank you, Doug and Heather and Channel Awesome.
Oh my God, thank you. I mean, y'all make it possible for us to live our dream jobs, man. So thank you all so much again.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. I'm a huge fan of Gears of War, and I'm pissed Netflix got the series. I already don't like them for showing cuties, and I rather have the series on Paramount Plus.
I never did. Is Gears of War? I thought that was a game.
Yeah, Gears of War is a game.
Did they make a show on Netflix?
Netflix has the rights to make a show. I don't think it's come out yet.
Okay.
Honestly, after Arcane, I'm like, I don't know, man. Give Netflix a chance. Castlevania, Arcane.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Let's give Netflix a chance, okay? Even the Cuphead show isn't like that bad. Like
Cuphead's fine. I think it's just
fine.
Not what people were expecting.
Yeah.
But is it going to be an animated show? Is that the?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it's probably live action, but even then, The Witcher I heard is really good too.
Mm.
But I guess that's also based on the book, not necessarily the game, but whatever.
And everyone's really excited what they're doing with the decisions with Witcher right now.
Right.
I don't even watch Witcher. I should. I hear it's good. But yeah, even I know, like, just people are pissed, apparently, at what's going on over there. I'm still here. I'm just letting Chaplin out here, so you can read the next one.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. M. Tappet in chat wants to know if you at least like the family dynamics in Strange World.
because I've seen it a million times. If this script feels like 20 years old. There's some things that very clearly are a commentary and some things going on now, but yeah, I feel like the dynamic with those characters I've just seen so many times, particularly with Disney and Marvel, that yeah, it wasn't awful. I'm not like disliking them, but I didn't find them interesting at all. But you know, you could be different. Other people could see it and absolutely love the dynamic. But yeah, it didn't grab me.
Nerd King, thank you so much for that 2-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, since the menu is technically a Disney film since they own Searchlight Pictures, could we see a Disney December for that?
We'll see. If I do, I think it'd be next year. But yeah, man, it is weird. It's just, I think by the end of Disney December, I'm just going to review everything. Like, there is no theme anymore because Disney's just going to have absolutely everything.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, just saw Black Panther Wakanda Forever last Saturday and found it mostly solid entry for the MCU. Without going into spoilers, I thought Namor was a pretty well-developed antagonist. Not as great as Killmonger, but still another great addition to the MCU's roster.
Yeah, I do like Killmonger a lot more, but I think the background they give him and the actor are really,
he
really
does
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, I do wish. I mean, you know, it's going to be the plan he has. Okay, you kind of know it's coming, but I wish there was another spin on it because it was done so well with Killmonger that I just wish there was something additional to it. But I mean, but it's still fine. It's just very familiar.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Also, yes, the music in the movie is incredible. I'm looking to add it to my writing playlist on Spotify. One of my favorite tracks among many was Sirens for how haunting it was. Even if I'm one of those stubborn blowhards who believes real sirens from the original Greek are bird people like God intended, not fish people / merfolk, where did that even come from?
You know, I didn't even remember them being bird people. I always associate them with, like, you know, on the seas and stuff like that. It's like, are they?
Yeah, a little bit more like Valkyrie-ish in
Really?
Greek mythology. Yeah.
No shit. Okay. Oh, I don't know that. All right.
Yeah. Hypergirl Jen, thank you for the 50 bits. Would you ever do a review of the 1970s Scorsese hit Gorbachev that Tumblr can't stop talking about?
I don't even think I'm familiar with that one. Okay, I gotta look that up, and the reason why Tumblr is talking about, I guess.
Oh, gone. Sorry, no, it was typed wrong. Goncharv.
I still don't know.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
oh, it's fake, Doug.
Okay, I was gonna say
fake.
I'm like, okay, there's gotta be.
I have seen that. Okay, I have seen that. Then.
I'm saying to myself, I know. I mean, I don't know every film, but I feel like I would have known a Scorsese film about, especially if it is Gorbachev. I'm like, I don't know. So okay, but that's why I was saying, well, I gotta see what Tumblr is saying about it.
M. Tapid, thank you for the 50 bits. What's the best Thanksgiving side dish?
Trying to think. Well, okay, so I don't know if this counts, but anytime we do Thanksgiving, there's kind of like appetizers and stuff like that, and everybody just knows I'm the guy who's going to eat all the shrimp, like all the cold shrimp there and stuff like that. And I love the turkey, I love the mashed potatoes and stuffing and all that, but it's like, yeah, I go for the shrimp. I'm weird.
My mom always makes a cheesy potato hash brown that I'm gonna just annihilate tomorrow.
That sounds good.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you considered going back to some of your earlier top 11 lists, like your top 11 scariest moments or top 11 mindfucks, and update them?
Top 11, I don't think so. I don't think there's an audience there for that. I've thought about maybe going back and doing some older reviews to go into more detail about them back when I could only do like 10-minute reviews on YouTube. That's all they allow. But even then, I don't know. I'm thinking back more and more, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. I kind of like just leaving them as they are. I don't know. We'll see. You know what it is? I get the feeling everybody, now do this review, now do this review, and it's like, I don't want to like just fill it up with like redos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm leaning more towards no, but I'm not 100% on that yet.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I would love an NC review for The Borrowers 1997. It's the last movie I can remember having fond, nostalgic memories of.
I never did see it, but I hear it's good. Um, so I should give it a chance. I remember getting really good reviews, and I'm sure it has some kind of following. So yeah, maybe.
Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. It didn't seem like you were too crazy about Andy Samberg as Brent from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I personally thought he was pretty funny and liked how they gave him a legitimate arc throughout the film. His celebrity identity crisis was both humorous and surprisingly sympathetic. I love how he redubbed himself Chicken Brent as his new calling in life.
He was okay. He's very hit and miss with me. I feel like he's always kind of playing the same character, which is not bad if it's an interesting character, but just that kind of the guy who yells and goes, "Yo, what?" and he's kind of dumb, it just kind of gets on my nerves after a while, but he's done it fine in a lot of stuff, and honestly, he probably does it fine there.
Now is the Midwinter, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you considered tackling any more Invader Zim episodes for Darktoons?
I got the season on DVD, so yeah, I'll find some to do. This is always like the busiest time of year for me with like Disney Decembers and stuff like that. So the next Darktoons will probably be one I was gonna do last year, but I couldn't get to it. It's called Peace on Earth, I think. It's this fascinating anti-war cartoon made just before we go into World War II. It was an argument not to go into World War II.
Interesting.
Before Pearl Harbor happened and stuff. And it's fascinating, and it is well made. It's beautifully animated and everything. But it's clear propaganda to not go into war. But it's really interesting. I don't know. I find stuff like that really fascinating.
Fat Disney Nerd, thank you again for the 5 gifted subs to push us over to meet our goal. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, you should definitely check out Cinema Therapy. They recently did Spirited Away, and also they have an Elf episode as well. Therapist reacts to ADHD in Elf.
That is one of the interesting things we were looking up when we were watching the movie. Rob was looking up sort of all these similar ideas of like what would a therapist diagnose Elf with and stuff like that, and it was interesting.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you hear about how Quentin Tarantino says that the era has been the worst in movie history, even though we got films like Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Batman, X, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Wolfwalkers? I think he's losing his touch with the times. What do you think?
I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. I respectfully disagree. Again, I always say we lived through the dark age of movies, which I think, what was it again? It was like 1996 to like 2002, something like that, 2004 to me, because that's when we discovered CG and we just exploited it to no end. And not to say there were no good movies. Of course there were good movies, even some big budget ones. But yeah, it was just so much of the same thing over and over and over. And like summer movies were kind of dreaded. Like, okay, we're just going to see shit this summer because that's just what we're used to, and we all went to see it still because we just wanted to see a summer movie, but it was like almost torture to see them. So yeah, I remember living through that and just being like, but he probably loved it because that's when he was becoming big. He was like one of the different things around then. So yeah, I don't know. He's entitled to his opinion. I respectfully disagree.
I mean, it's the same kind of logic behind Don't Feed the Trolls. The more we keep giving these people or film directors attention for bagging on superhero movies or recent movies, the more likely they are just going to keep saying it. So just maybe just don't give them attention if you don't agree. Say like, okay, I respectfully disagree, and move on with your day.
I feel like, and not that they don't believe it, but I feel like they do it to build themselves up and be like, so see my next movie when it comes out, and so people can be like, oh, Scorsese, he's the one that said Marvel movies are shit, and I like Marvel movies, so I can't wait to see what he's going to do that's so different and blah, blah, blah. And I love Scorsese, but he's been doing the same thing for like the past 2 decades. Hugo is like the closest thing to something really different, but I love Scorsese. I love his films, but yeah, for criticizing that something's just doing the same thing over and over, it's like, hi, look at your library.
Rancy Gaming, thank you for the 50 bits. I was just reminded by Twitter that Ratchet and Clank has a 22-minute short called Life of Pi. It's on YouTube.
Good title. Sounds familiar. Cool. Maybe I'll check it out.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. I recently rewatched Disney's Pocahontas since I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I'm usually not a supporter of Disney remakes, but I think this movie deserves one. This time getting the life story straight. Not too gory, but truthful.
The real story is pretty fucking depressing. Well, and on
Yeah.
top of that, there's just a lot we don't know about it as well. Even the thing of Pocahontas saving John Smith, there's a lot of speculation of what was actually going on there and stuff like that. So, I will say, if you're gonna do it, the idea of doing it as kind of like a fairy tale, I'm like, okay, at least it's just totally taking out the reality, of it. Kind of like Anastasia does. If you want to throw in little Easter eggs, that's fine. But it's like, I feel like movies have been done to try and tell that story in a more faithful way, and even they weren't that great. So I say, if you're gonna do it, just go pure fantasy, pure fairy tale. If you're gonna try and do any of the real stuff, I'd be like, don't even just lean into this is all made up. Make it Amadeus. Most of this is historical fiction.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, a lot of movie critics complain about mixing tones, which I never got. Tone mixing is a part of life. Sometimes we're having fun with the family. Literally the next hour could start with something crazy dark. Feels more real. So why is that an issue in movies?
Because it depends on what the movie is trying to do, what the story is trying to get across, what the characters are trying to get across. Sometimes you're right, that tonal change can be great. And jarring and keeps you on your toes and stuff like that. Other times it's kind of the equivalent of, like, let's say, I don't know, you're going to box with a best friend, and then later you're going to sit down and watch a movie with your loved one or something like that. If suddenly while watching a movie with your loved one, you're boxing with your friend, just suddenly out of nowhere, it's like, well, you got nothing against either of those, or even doing it back to back, but if you're just surprised by it, these things don't go. There's a way to ease you into it, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of the idea with changing tones in terms of an experience. You can do it, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, or a way that more people are going to gravitate towards than others.
Alan, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, so how do you feel about all these rumors that Harrison Ford is being de-aged for a part in Indiana Jones? I'm even more concerned about this movie because that technology is so hit and miss. I just want the franchise to end on a high note. I'm worried but hopeful.
If they do, I'm sure they're going to do it for a flashback or something
Hopefully.
like that. How would they do that for a whole okay, they can, but how can they do it and hold their heads high? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, Spielberg's effects haven't been great recently, but I feel like even he knows, no, that won't work. So that would be my guess, is that probably just be for a flashback.
Mark Creation Studios, thank you for the 50 bits. You should really check out the new Christmas Story sequel. It's the first one with the original cast returning, and Peter Billingsley, Ralphie, actually came up with the story himself. It's so original and only a couple minor callbacks to the original film, and I think you'll actually love it.
It's more than a couple. I did see it. And out of the Christmas Story, I don't want to say spin-offs because there's actually some good spin-offs, but sequels, prequels, and stuff like that, it's the best of them. And it does, in many respects, try to kind of be its own thing and be a legit sequel without reliving the first one scene for scene. But for me, every scene that works, there's a bad scene, and it usually is something trying to reference the first one when it doesn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still half a movie that works. That's more than half of what I would expecting would work from another Christmas Story. So I am glad I saw it, and it is cool seeing those actors again. All those actors I really do love. I love that actor who plays Scott Fargus. Anytime he's in something, I'm like, ooh, because he's got such a cool looking face, and he always anytime he's on screen, he always just commands the attention of everybody in that moment. So I'm glad I saw it. I think Brad put it best. I'm glad I saw it. I'll probably never see it again.
Alan, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, great commercial review. Now, have a cookie.
Have a cookie. Thank you.
Coburn, thank you for the 100 bits. What would you do if Bully Maguire became canon in Marvel Universe, even in video games? The most OP guy who can zap away people's powers by saying bad things to them, a chaotic, neutral, unstoppable force to be reckoned with, except the guy who asks for rent.
I would, you know how in one of the Rocky games, like you can fight any Rocky character, including the Rocky statue?
Yes.
I'd love to see that, like in a Spider-Man game. Like he's a hidden boss, Bully Maguire. Like he dances his way around. He just winks and he blows you away.
That'd be
I
great.
would love that in a game. Oh my god, get on that, somebody. Next Spider-Man game, have that be one of the costumes
Suits?
you can wear. Bully Maguire. Oh my god.
That'd
Oh,
be
I love
actually be
this.
awesome. With
That
the
would be
power.
amazing.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, love it, love it.
Cypher, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, wishing you and everyone at Channel Awesome a happy Thanksgiving.
Back at you. Thank you so much.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. Speaking of Toy Story 2, the game at the beginning of the movie that looked like a really awesome game, would you play it?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, if that was a real Disney game, I'd probably play that for Disney December.
Celluloid Surfer, thank you so much for the 37-month subscription. Welcome
you.
back. Super appreciate that. Now is the Midwinter. Thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. Have you ever considered doing a free show cinema for the 1994 Mike Nichols movie Wolf? Jack Nicholson starred as a man turning into a werewolf. It cost the equivalent of $145 million today, making it the most expensive horror movie of all time, and it's legit kind of insane. It also had Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Plummer, and effects by Rick Baker.
You know, I found it kind of dull. Which if that combination sounds amazing. And I do like it's a little bit more restrained given the people involved, but surprisingly a little too restrained for me. Maybe I gotta see it again, but I thought I saw it about a decade ago again and being like, yeah, like I love all these people, but it just wasn't that interesting to me. I don't know, but that might make an interesting film to talk about. So we'll see.
JRK Peptis, thank you for the 50 bits. What do you think of this movie pitch? Misogynists try to summon the spirit of a submissive woman from the past, but they accidentally summon an Amazon woman, similar to Xena / Wonder Woman, who hunts them down and brutally murders them. Happy Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say, sounds more like a sketch than a movie, but sounds like a funny sketch.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I have an idea for the name of next year's commercial video, Kingdom of the Commercials.
So right now I'm doing the Halloween movies for the titles, and it is one of those things where I'm like, okay, well now I have the title of the last one, Commercial Ends. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, shit, are there enough Halloween sequels to, last that long? So it's one of those things where I'm like kind of crossing my fingers like, okay, just make it to Commercial Ends, because that's just a perfect ending. Because I think we did the Planet of the Apes movies, and then we started doing Pink Panther / the Halloween movies because they share the same titles for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm hoping we can just finish out the Halloween movies with the titles.
Now is the Midwinter. Thank you for the 50 bits. Also, speaking of weird dark horror influenced movies by auteurs starring Nicholson and Pfeiffer, have you ever thought about reviewing The Witches of Eastwick?
That'd be a good freak show cinema. I still don't know if that's a good movie. It is. I like it.
Okay.
But every time I see it, I'm like, does this work? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things that could be added or explored why I say, man, this is a great movie. This is really, really good. But there's so many things. It's one of the few cases where so many things are a mystery and not shown, where I'm like, man, I'm not invested enough. There's not enough of a payoff. But it's so fucking weird, too. And I love all those people. So, yeah, I don't know. That'd be an interesting one to talk about.
General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. I made this theme month suggestion a couple of years ago, a Jumanji month. There's the Robin Williams movie, the two with The Rock, and the space one, Zathura.
It's not a bad idea. I have a few too many theme months planned for that, but maybe I'll start doing them. I feel like the ones people would want to see me do are the Williams one and Zathura. I never have seen Zathura, but I heard it's pretty good. So I'll do those definitely at one point. I don't know how many people would want to see me talk about the Rock one, because it's like, it's fine. They're fun. I don't think there's too much else to talk about.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, what's your top 3 favorite Bob's Burgers Thanksgiving episodes? For me, it's the Indecent Thanksgiving Proposal, Come On, that homage to my neighbor Totoro, epic, Turkey in a Can, and Gail making bobsled.
And I just saw this year's special too, where they go mini golfing, and you literally could have just taken out the Thanksgiving stuff. It'd just be a mini golf episode. But something about knowing that Bob is suffering at this mini golf game, wanting to get back to make the Thanksgiving dinner, it really made me laugh. But yeah, no, honestly, the ones that you listed there are pretty great. That's like the new Thanksgiving tradition. It's like Planes, Trains, Automobiles, and watching Bob's Burgers, because there's always a Thanksgiving episode.
Rancy Gaming, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. I was wondering if you found a copy of the Deadpool game.
No, not yet. But I will definitely look into that, because again, I hear it's a lot of fun.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 50 bits. Happy early Thanksgiving, everybody!
Back at ya.
Coburn, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you heard Disney and the Lion King remake made it so Hakuna Matata is a copyrighted word from Disney? People in East Africa protested that, but wouldn't it be like copyright the word lion and sue people for saying it? So weird. We can't just they can't sue people for saying it in everyday life.
No, well, it is Disney. No, I would. Yeah, I mean, but how do I put? Weirder things have been copyrighted. Like, I mean, I've talked about this before, but the song "Happy Birthday" for years was owned by Paul McCartney. And anytime you used it in a movie or a show, you had to pay residuals. Happy birthday. So really count how many times you've heard it from, like, I don't know, like the late 80s to maybe the early 2000s, like in a movie or a show. They usually do a different song in there, or like a variation. So I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I feel like that's a legit thing to protest, because that's pretty stupid.
JP or JRK Peptis, sorry. Thank you for the 50 bits. Outside of comic book characters, what heroes do you think have the best villains? I say Doctor Who and Buffy. So more like maybe sci-fi? Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be sci-fi.
I mean, I can tell you right away, Disney. I think Disney has some of the best villains, man. The animated films. I mean, God, people, when they think of just like both very simple, quick to identify villains, and then ones that are deep and complex and have a lot of layers to them. I think that people really do look at, the stepmother from Cinderella, Frollo, Jafar. I mean, and even funny ones like Captain Hook and Hades and stuff. I mean, I feel like that's one of the big treasure troves right there.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 50 bits. Question for Heather. When a student was called to the office when you were a teacher, did the students ever do the ooh? Yeah. Yeah, they did. They do.
Yeah, that's never going to age. That's always going to be a thing.
It's a universal experience, especially because, I guess, side note, at the last school I taught at, my classroom shared a door with the principal's office. So, like, every now and then, she would literally just open the door and be like, because it was a small school, she would literally open the door and be like, Kevin, here, now. And the kids would be like, whoa.
Oh, shit, man. God, I'm getting intimidated just hearing that.
It was great. It was great, but also not great, because every now and then she'd be like, so your class was kind of noisy today, Heather. And I was like, oh.
Even teachers get in trouble with the principal, man.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Except most of the time I was able to, like the first time she ever opened the door, I'm sorry, we're getting so off track, but the first time she ever opened the door to be like, your class is loud, quiet down, I was like, actually, we're playing a game that I coded into the smartboard. Do you want to play? And she was like, I do, actually. And then she played the game with the students for like 15 minutes, and she was like, all right, sure, fine.
And the students always let her win.
Honest reviewer, thank you for the 50 bits. So Zootopia got its own series of shorts that came out this month. They're pretty hit and miss, with each one taking on a different style and set during different points of the original film.
Yeah, it looked fine. With so many things I have to watch, I just never checked it out. I already had an idea kind of what it was. I'm like, all right, I'm sure that's cute, but unless people are like, oh my God, you gotta see it, I wasn't really gonna check it out.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Just finished watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles on TV with my mom. Such a great movie. So Doug, have you seen or visited the Pages home and the McAllister home since they're in the Chicago area?
We've definitely seen the McAllister home. My guess is we've driven by the Pages home because they are kind of in the same neighborhood and they all do look very, very similar. Um, but were we aware we were passing it? No, but we definitely, especially when the film came out, we drove past the McAllister house a couple times because we were like, there it is! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Hypergirl Jen, thank you for the 50 bits. You've unlocked my Futurama info dumping card, lol. Season 1 is funny because the animation is so pleasantly fluid in its own way, but the humor is so slow-paced. The characters don't get quite weird enough until Season 2 for me. The chemistry does start up early, though. The scene of Leela quitting in the pilot is really crucial to how she and Fry bond. It really is an important show to me about how you can fit into any society as long as you find people just as weird as you. I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
and poor, I mean, Billy West, one of the great, voiceover artists of all time. I mean, all time. And it's so rough watching that first season, trying to hear him find Fry's voice and not having it yet, because man, is it annoying. I mean, just like by season 2, he got it and he perfected it. I mean, but yeah, man, you can tell they're like kind of a Bart Simpson-ish, but a hint older, not much, but a hint. And you can tell they're just like, oh, like it's so grating to listen to. But by season 2, it's like perfect, and he just made every line so funny. So yeah, that's honestly the toughest part for me to watch in that first season is just Fry's voice, sadly.
Hypergirl Jen says it's just Stimpy for a while, and yeah.
Yeah, no, it's right. It's fine for Stimpy, but yeah, for Fry.
JRK Peptis. I'm gonna get this right eventually. Thank you for the 50 bits. Have you seen the poster for the upcoming animated Disney movie Iwaju? It could be a horrible movie, but I like the combination of cyberpunk and Wakanda Afrofuturism. I
Spell
have
it.
IWAJO.
It's gonna be like some porn thing, isn't it?
No, it says Disney.
No, actually, I got like I got something for like a hospital here, actually.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
something. I try Disney. Waju. Iago, did you mean? Yeah, it is not popping up at all for me.
IWAJU?
IWA. Okay, there we go. Now let's try it. Okay, here we go. Pretty. Looking very kind of Romeo and Juliet a little bit. Looks pretty. Oh man, that city on the left, the building that kind of looks like a person there. That's really cool. Oh my god.
Looks pretty
I'm thinking
cool.
I'm thinking just this city is going to be great to check out. Yeah, I mean, just from the little I see here, it looks pretty cool.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 50 bits. Here's some nostalgia. Do you remember Japan's hard gay gimmick? Wow.
Hard
Yes. That is a blast from the past. We used to watch some of those at like Anime Central. He looks like he's in a bondage outfit.
Okay, yeah, that's it's funny because I typed it in. I'm like, should I really be surprised whatever I'm gonna get here? And then these images pop up. I'm like, is this it? And when you said that, I'm like, yep, that's it.
Yep.
That's the one. No, I have not seen those. Oh, what year was those? Or were those?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. I don't know. I was watching them in college, like 2007, 2008, 2009. I don't know.
Okay, all right. So it's definitely past my time. Maybe we'll look those up for the next commercial special. I don't know. I toyed with the idea of doing like a foreign commercial.
Oh, they're not
special.
commercials. He's just a gimmick and a wrestler, I believe.
Okay, because I kept seeing him in a wrestling ring. Okay, gotcha. Okay, but yeah, but on that note, I've been talking about doing just like maybe a second commercial special just on foreign commercials. That might be funny. So yeah, just maybe we'll do that down the line. Anyway, subject change.
Late 90s. Thank you, Strider for Life.
Oh, wow.
Late
Okay.
90s. Cool. General Kenobi, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, to give you an idea of how corny the first episode of The Big Guy and the big guy is stopping aliens from abducting cows, and he says no alien scum is going to deprive even one child and his growing bones of even one glass of wholesome milk.
It's cute.
JRK Peptis, thank you for the 50 bits. Instead of playing games, have you tried making a video game with help from Twitch? Those types of streams have become very popular. It's not really a simple thing to just make a video game.
I was gonna say, it's like, is that something you can just do? I mean, I guess we did do. We played some Mario Maker levels, but we never did make any. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing on Twitch.
Yeah, I have not heard about Twitch helping creators make video games, but some people make their own, and that's not just like an easy thing to just pop into existence.
Yeah, it sounds pretty complicated, but again, Mario Maker, I guess a lot of people did. So yeah, who knows?
Randacy Gaming, thank you for the 50 bits. Would you do a Disney-cember of Disney's Crash and Bernstein and Disney's Jessie?
I don't think I know any of those. I'll try and look them up.
Tulip Fan, thank you for the 125 bits. Hey Doug, happy Thanksgiving for tomorrow. Out of curiosity, are you nostalgic for VHS/physical media? Do you have any favorite games on a DVD or Blu-ray?
I do have the, I think I did the review with this too, the Dragon's Lair games and Space Ace on DVD. So I do have those. But VHS, maybe just the covers and the art on them, maybe. The actual format itself, I never got huge into in terms of like the nostalgia, but I will say watching The Ring on VHS did change the experience. I'm like, all right, this is a little creepier watching it on VHS. I'm always going to be a sucker for physical media. Even James Rolfe's book, he was like, yeah, you can get it on Kindle, you can do it. I'm just like, I'm getting the actual book. I don't know. If it's something I really care about and really want to own, like actually own, I want the physical copy of it, the Blu-ray or the actual book, all that stuff.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, any chance we'll see a review of A Christmas Story Christmas? Redundant? Much redundant? Props if you remember that joke from you this Disney-cember. Or this December, rather, sorry.
No, but I do make a joke in the upcoming review to it. But yeah, I don't know. I think getting like a copy of it to review might be a little tricky. But on top of that, it's like I want to see if people still talk about it later, because we tried doing that with the Munsters, thinking like, oh man, everyone's gonna be talking about this, and they did for like a couple days, and then it just kind of disappeared. But it is interesting to talk about. So we'll see. If I do it, it'd probably be like next year.
A total loser, thank you for the 100 bits. Your newest video made me roll on the floor. Commercials is a grain of sand and your endless great reviews.
Oh, thank God, to get that from a total loser, that means so much. No, honestly, thank you so much.
Lord Greystroke, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi Doug, happy Thanksgiving Eve. I just want to say thank you for bringing that video about the Disney Channel theme to my attention. Seeing as Disney Channel was a huge part of my childhood, it was fascinating learning about the origins of the composer for that iconic 4-note theme.
Hey, you want to know what's so funny? That was after my time. I didn't grow up with those 4 notes. I think I have heard them before, but it wasn't nostalgic for me. I just thought the video was really well made. I mean, that guy always does really good videos. And like I said, I think he takes that kind of art form and really tries to evolve it to something else and change stuff up. And I'm really not kidding. That is kind of risky to do, especially on video that takes so much time. Because if it doesn't work, then you wasted God knows how many months on it. People say, hey, I don't like this, and people don't watch it. So it is a gamble when you do that. And I'm glad that it did work out as well as it did. And I like that there's times too where people can get too personal in their videos and it kind of feels like you're looking for pity or attention or something like that. But because so much of it was about finding this composer and he connects it to like what he does and lasting as an entertainer and stuff, it balances that. It feels warranted. It feels like, yeah, no, these connect. And then what he does with the music throughout the whole video, I thought all of it was very, very clever.
A total loser, thank you for the 100 bits. Your videos are great, and probably my favorite character you've voiced is Chaplin the cat.
Oh, well, I'm thankful.
Obscure Norwegian Gamer, thank you for the 50 bits. Thank you for years and years of laughs and enjoyment. I'm looking forward to so much more.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God, everybody's so kind today. You're usually so mean. No, I really mean, I am so thankful for the fans I have, man. I really do mean that. So thank you all, just always.
JRK Pectus, thank you for the 50 bits. Any chance of doing Dark Toons on the drugs episode of Captain Planet? It's hilariously insane. They can't summon CP because one of the Planeteers has turned into a junkie and her bro bleeds to death. What the fuck?
Man, did I see that one? Maybe not. I thought I saw all the special episodes. I mean, okay, they're all technically special episodes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, if I did, I mean, look, Captain Planet is great to laugh at. I don't know how much legit stuff I can say is good about it. So if I did that, I'd probably do it as like kind of a funny episode, like a joke.
Now is the midwinter. Thank you for the 50 bits. Have you considered tackling a British cartoon called A Short Vision for Dark Toons? What? A short. Okay. It was an animated anti-nuclear short film that featured legit gore. It was even aired on the Ed Sullivan Show by his personal request and almost led it to it being canceled because of how gory and scary it was.
Oh no, I never heard of it. It's called A Short.
Well, they have A Short in quotations, but then it's A Short Vision. So I don't know if it's a short vision or if it's just a short. I don't know.
I think I see it. A Short Vision. Yeah, be fine. Huh. I'll check it. Jesus. Sorry, that really caught me off guard. Just the first thing that pops up on YouTube, the picture just fills the screen, and yeah, it's gory. Wow.
All right, there we go.
Okay. I'm sorry, that legit really surprised me. Yes, I will check that out. If you want to see what I saw, just type in A Short Vision. I think it's like the first thing that pops up on Google and the YouTube video, and yeah, it'll get a little bit of a jump out of you.
Now is the midwinter. Thank you for the 50 bits. Have you ever considered tackling the Men in Black movies as a franchise overview video? You've said in the past the first one is a much needed bright spot in the dark age of cinema and that the third was surprisingly good. Plus there's always MIB International NC material if there ever was
Yeah, did I write that down or not? Let me I thought I had that on the list, but maybe not. Because I never did see International. I hear it's not very good. So that'll finally be an excuse to see that. I'll probably do that, yeah.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 50 bits. Could I recommend a game for a future Disney-cember? Toy Story 3 on PS3.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll look into that for next year.
Author, thank you for the 100 bits. Last bits of the night. Hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving, and just know that something I'm thankful for is all of you guys and the countless hours of entertainment you all provide, whether with reviews, Twitch streams, or even convention appearances. Much love and look forward to seeing you all again next week.
Oh, back at you. Yeah, thank you so much for, watching all this time, man. It like I said, we can't do it without y'all watching.
Jay, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, happy holidays. Tonight, I'm going to introduce my kids to planes, trains, and automobiles, and then we might check out your video on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a great movie, man. They'll learn some great vocabulary in the middle of it.
Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. Last bits of the night, as someone who saw trailers for Strange World, it really didn't look good with every character's dialogue being a bunch of cringy quips. Just wasn't grabbing me like other Disney films. Thanks for vindicating those thoughts and saving me money. I'm gonna go see The Menu instead.
I mean, The Menu is far better. I will say, if you're interested in just exactly that, A Strange World, it does give you that. And so I'm glad I saw it for that. And the dialogue isn't like awful. You're not going like, oh, that's a bad line. They're just all very, very stock dialogue. Like, as soon as a conversation starts, you know exactly how it's going to end. You know what I mean?
Grand Omega, thank you so much for that 9-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Randy Gaming, thank you for the 50 bits. Fun fact, the main villain of Motor City is voiced by Mark Hamill. And what are your thoughts on Randy Cunningham, 9th grade ninja from Disney?
Randy Cunningham?
Yeah, Cunningham, 9th grade ninja.
Let's see. I don't think I know this one. 2012? Boy, he looks like Invader Zim a little bit. It's a cool design. Yeah, I've never even heard of this. God, yeah, it has to be the same guy who made it. It's like almost the exact same art style. Looks interesting. We'll try to check it out.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. When you reviewed the movie Old, I thought it was a little extreme to laugh so hard with your feet in the air when they mentioned the rapper's name.
Oh, I don't. That was pretty funny.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. What's your favorite show set in your hometown? Mine is Designing Women because I like Annie Potts in that show.
Hmm. Man, I mean, there's a lot of good. I mean, Prison Break was pretty good. There's a good one on right now called The Bear.
I was gonna say,
Uh,
all of my friends tell me to watch The Bear and that it's the most Chicago show you've ever seen in your life.
yeah, there's one scene because yeah, there's a lot of crime. We like our guns and stuff like that. But there's one scene where someone just goes outside. It's a bunch of geeks fighting, and he literally fires a gun into the air. I'm like, that I don't buy. Hiding a gun or showing a gun, I can see that. But like just shooting in the air, like. Nah, I don't buy that one, but everything else feels very, very Chicago.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. Did you really hate Mars Attacks? I actually had fun laughing with it.
I didn't hate it, but I've learned to appreciate it a little bit more. But I can't say it's good. I want to like it. That's what sucks, But I'm like, yeah, it just kind of runs out of stuff pretty early.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. Will you review Godzilla 2014, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong?
Um, I wasn't probably not only because I like those movies. I like Godzilla. I really do love King Kong, but there are people out there that are so into it. And rightfully so. I mean, there was a culture around those movies that I'm not in. And I don't have enough of a passion to really like soak in that culture. So I feel like if someone's going to talk about it, like you should get people that really are in either that Kong or Godzilla culture or both.
Jay, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, did you get to see Terrifier 2? And if so, did you enjoy it? I remember you spoke positively about the first one.
Oh yeah. Oh, I loved it. The only thing is that there's a lot of questions still at the end, and I guess they're gonna make a third one. But it's like, which I like that, but it's also like, man, they were really building up like we're gonna get some answers at the end, and we don't. So I'm on the fence about that. I guess it depends how the third one is, but yeah, I love it. I think that's. I don't know how many like really timeless slasher killers in the past decade have we gotten that we can say yes, that's an official new movie monster that has its own identity, you can quickly identify, has their own shtick, than Art the Clown. I mean, it's like I can't think of any off the top of my head. So I just love that here's a new one at this age where we keep regurgitating stuff and keep giving reboots to old movie monsters. It's like, here's a new one that really stands out. It's still the style of those 80s slasher films, but like is something really new and unique and funny and scary. And yeah, I really like those movies.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. Who's your dream collaboration you would like to work with? Mine is John Tobias, co-creator of Mortal Kombat, to remake Tao Feng, and Cliff Blazinski, who used to run Epic Games.
Art the Clown. No, honestly, like, I mean, that would be cool. But yeah, I don't know. I've kind of worked with all the people I want to work with. You know what I mean? And there's some people I love to maybe do an interview with. I was even saying, because I saw some of the people who did X-Men at the past con we went to, like Andre Romano. I would love to interview and talk with Margaret Lesh, who like was the president of Fox Kids and stuff like that. That's another one. So I'm sure there's people like that I'd love to like talk to and do an interview with. But in terms of like do a crossover and a collab and stuff like that, not that I'd be like against doing it with anyone, but it's like, yeah, I'm not seeking them out as much. I feel like that time has kind of passed, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm very fortunate to have, worked with all the people I really want to work with, in this industry.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. I still want you to review that Kirby episode for Dark Toons, which I can help you with, but I also found another for you called the Hypochondriacat from Looney Tunes. It is so cruel.
Boy, that sounds familiar. I recognize that title. I'll look that one up again. But yeah, like I said, I got one or two planned for the rest of the year, and then like I'll probably start really looking into them seriously again next year because I am doing the Disney Decembers and stuff like that. So hold off for now.
Burrito Supreme, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey Doug, what are your thoughts on Austin Butler as Fade Routha in Dune Part 2.
Um, I mean, so the only thing I've seen him in is Elvis, which I thought he was great. So just going off of that, sure. But yeah, I don't have that wide a range of stuff to pull from because that's the only thing I've seen him in.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 50 bits. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Just asking.
Just the usual, meeting up with family, eating food, getting in fights with family, all that good stuff.
I've got a whole Thanksgiving extravaganza weekend where it's like my parents tomorrow, Lucas's mom on Friday, like it's and then his dad on Sunday. It's like a whole thing where I'm just, it's
yeah,
all
when you
weekend.
said Thanksgiving weekend,
It's
it
all
really is
weekend.
a Thanksgiving weekend for you.
It's all weekend. Lady Houndoom, thank you so much for that 36-month subscription. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Jay, thank you for the 100 bits. Just want to say, longtime fan of you and the whole crew. I'm curious what video or opinion gets you the most hate and trolling.
It changes over time. I mean, right now it's probably The Wall. That's the big one. Before then, I think it was like Bart's Nightmare. Before then, I think it was Melvin, Brother of the Joker. And all of them still come back, and I'm really fine with it. You gotta own your failures, honestly, and understand why something didn't work or it didn't grab people. But I like experimenting. I like trying different stuff, doing something out of a comfort zone, because then you wouldn't get a lot of stuff that does work, as well. So, yeah, it changes over time. I don't think there's one throughout the 15 years I've been doing it where it's like, yeah, everybody points to that one. It does change up.
MC Coolman, thank you for the 50 bits. Golly gee. My brother got to get surgery on Tuesday, so watching videos make my day all day, every day. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope he's doing okay, too. Yeah, all my best to you.
Monster Society, thank you for the 100 bits. Every year, my mom makes the following as a Thanksgiving side dish for us. Orange Jell-O plus pineapple chunks, pretty standard, here's where it goes weird, plus carrot shavings, plus this weird mayonnaise-based salad sauce my mom has to whip up. When I was a kid, I thought this was normal, and I wish I was lying.
I feel like I've heard like a mayonnaise salad sauce for side. I think that might be a little common, but with the Jell-O, that's
with the
weird.
Jell-O and the pineapple chunks, that's where you lose me.
Huh. I guess if we haven't tried it, I don't know. I'm not gonna try it, but I haven't tried it.
Fresh Level, thank you for the 25-month subscription. Welcome back, appreciate it. 25 months. That means a free question answered, right? LOL. You could have just asked it in your
That's it right
resubscription. Yeah,
maybe that is the question. The
right?
answer is yes.
Yes, yes.
You just got the answer.
Hey, we literally have 1 minute for highlighted questions. I thought that we were gonna have more time, but then all at once at the end there, people gave more bits.
I went to shit.
Let's see. Lord R. Wolfen says, hey guys, after your commercial special, I'm reminded of the Japanese commercials for Pachinko starring Nicolas Cage. Would have been awesome if you did those. Also, just a suggestion for the NC, the movie Surf's Up.
Oh, I never did see that one. I should probably check it out. Yeah, I think I'm liking the idea more and more of doing like a foreign commercial special. So maybe we'll include that there because there's a lot of funny celebrity ones.
Luke the Boss says, happy Thanksgiving. Hypergirl Jen says, before we go, I'll leave this joke on my head. New NC episode where Hyperboner have to hire Dick Ray Plumbing.
Okay, it's up here. Remember that.
Also, Sigamig says, butts.
Butts indeed.
Butts indeed. You know what? I can't think of a better way to end it besides butts. So thank you all so much for joining us here today. We really appreciate it. And again, like Doug has reiterated many times during this stream, we are thankful for all of you. Genuinely, we wouldn't be able to do what we do every day if it wasn't for you all. So thank you all so much. If you're in the United States, I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Doug will not be here, not be here tomorrow night. There will not be any awesome comics and coffee on Saturday. So, we're all just spending time with
on
family.
Friday is where I won't be.
Yes. Yep. Today isn't Friday. Today isn't Thursday.
I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday too. Isn't that funny?
Tamra won't be streaming tomorrow. Point is, no streams really for until like Monday, okay? All right, okay. And I'll actually be here on Monday playing Pokemon Violet. So, anyway, let me check. Is Tamara on? I gotta check to see if, I don't know if Tamara is streaming right now or not. Doing a little checky. She's not. Oh, okay. Well, maybe she is not streaming today. All right, well, I'll keep an eye out. Looks like maybe not. All right, everyone. Well, thank you all so much. Appreciate you all a ton. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we will see y'all later.
Bye-bye. Goodbye. 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 Thank you. Goodbye.